What is up, you lovely lot? Welcome back to Budget Cars and Bikes. And yeah, we're in the kitchen, which can mean only one thing. We got another product review. Alright guys, well, if you watched the video we did on the Top Don, little kind of infrared module that fits into the bottom of your phone, I'll stick a link in just here somewhere. That, as I said, came from Top Don. It was a very, very small module, but an amazing bit of kit. And we really enjoyed actually owning that and using it, and I've still got it upstairs in a drawer somewhere actually. Really, really useful little device. Then we got contacted. They reached out to us by a company on my email account via Instagram asking us if we'd actually like to review a dedicated infrared thermal imaging camera. Not just like the module that we used, which basically fits inside an Android or iOS mobile phone. This is a proper professional, all singing, all dancing thermal imaging camera. So, as usual, we haven't looked at anything here. There's my fingers here. We haven't looked at anything. I'm going to open up the box and we're going to basically see what we get inside. I'll talk you through it and then we'll run some tests. And at the end of the video, I'll give you an overview of what I think of it. Should you buy one, let you have the price, that kind of stuff, and see how it compares to just a singular modular component, as it were, compared to a dedicated professional kind of imaging camera. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's get it open and see what we got. So it kind of opens in this kind of fashion here, very nice. I mean, it's a lovely box, actually, I have to say. I'm going to go around to the front of the camera and open this out for you guys so you can see what's inside. So we've got a little kind of box affair here. We'll try to open this together, as I said. Here, I imagine, are all the instructions. I might be coming out in mono at the moment because, obviously, I'm going to be at the side of the camera. There's the protective case that it comes in. It's actually smaller than I thought it would be, because if you look at the front of the box, it looks like it's going to be absolutely enormous. But if it's in this box, which I'm assuming it is, it's not as big as I thought. In here, I imagine we've got a charging lead. Yep, there we go. We got the wrong plug, but hey ho, there you go. And a USB Type-C, I'm assuming, charging cable. That is it. So, what else can I tell you about the box? Not a huge amount. We'll flip it over. There are some specs on the back there. Pause that if you want to and have a little look. This one says it's EU. I did ask them for a UK one, but they've sent an EU one, which is a bit odd, but I've got some adapters anyway. So let's get it unpacked and see what we get inside the box. Now, this is an interesting brand I've not heard of before. I'm hoping I'm going to pronounce this correctly. It's a Kaiweets KTI-W01 scanner, if you want to kind of look up the info online about that. That's what it is. Kaiweets? You tell me in the comments what you think. Anyway, well, let's get this open and have a little look. So, there it is. As I said, it's a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be. I actually assumed, looking at the box, if I can just show you that again, that it was going to be absolutely bloody enormous. Because, again, if you look at the picture on the front, you think, oh my God, that's going to be enormous, but it's far smaller than the picture, thank goodness. And there it is. It's got a little protective cap here, of course, as you would expect with any kind of camera device. The Kaiweets logo there. It may need charging up. If it does, then you won't know about it. I'll just basically do it. We'll try to turn it on and see what happens. And there she blows. 20, 40. It'll be interesting to see how quickly this kind of boots into its operating system. If I can find out, I will tell you exactly what it runs. 100%. There we go. And I'm actually cooking up some pasta as we speak in the kitchen. And that'd be quite interesting to see. So I'm assuming we can just press this to find out what the temperature is on any given surface. I'm not sure 100% what... okay. Right, okay, so basically what will happen is if you press it once, you get a photograph. I'll quickly kind of demonstrate that. So we click it once, and then it will ask us, do you want to store the photograph? We say no, because we don't want to. And if you want to record a video, then you keep your hand on it, and it will say start recording, yes or no. We're not going to record anything because I don't really see the need to. Okay, well, as you can see, there is the basic function, as it were, for the thermal imaging. You do have other options as well. This is a dedicated kind of, well, the first one is a dedicated thermal. I'm not entirely sure what that one denotes, if I'm honest. There we've got more of a monochrome, and here... black and white by the looks of things, and here is a full-on infrared there. I mean, it just basically does exactly as you would expect. Your left hand side here, you would be able to see what the current temperature is there, 16.2 Celsius. Right in the middle is an 18.1 or 18 or thereabouts. If I put my hand there, as you can see, that will suddenly jump up to 32 or so, or 35 is my lowest finger here. It basically concentrates on the hottest parts of your hand. As you can see, outside my hand is 17 degrees. My hand is about 30 to 35 degrees. If you bear with me a second, we're cooking up some food at the moment, so as you can see there, now that suddenly jumps to, I'm hoping you guys can see that, that suddenly jumps to around about 90 degrees there with an outside temperature of 24. So pretty easy to navigate the buttons. As I said, you basically go straight through to the left-hand side here or the right-hand side, depending on where you want to go. I imagine the most useful functions are going to be the standard one, which is this one, and then we can go back to the full-on infrared here. I was getting a little bit confused because as every camera I've ever used, I forgot to pull up the little flap at the front. If we go into the menu settings for a second, guys, I'll quickly show you that. Hopefully this is going to focus. We've got image correction, which isn't highlighted because we don't have any images to correct as far as I'm aware. Then we've got photos, videos, color palette, emissivity, and settings. If we just pop down to settings for a second and then press enter, here you'll find your auto shutdown, brightness, language, unit, temperature range, all that kind of good stuff there. So if you wanted to go into there, you could go from 20 to 120 or 120 to 500 Celsius. Pretty impressive, I think you'd have to agree. Time format, set time, spot, as in you can put the spot where you would like it in and around the screen. I haven't actually quite worked out how to do that yet, but I'm sure I will. And there's your firmware update version as well if you need it to update it, which you can do via the Type-C cable just down there, and your laptop, of course. And then we come out. I mean, it's not overly complicated, this thing, guys. It is like any other thermal imaging camera. You basically point it and shoot. You point it at what you want to see, what the temperature is, be it too cold, be it too warm. Brilliant for things like engines. If you've got a cylinder out somewhere, you're not quite sure exactly which cylinder it is, you can just basically point this at the downpipe to work out exactly which one isn't as hot as the others, etc, etc. I've got a friend at the moment who's got a problem with his entire exhaust system, and he's not sure if it's pre-cat or post-cat, so you could point this at that and find out if the heat is kind of dissipating after the cat or before the cat, and then work out if it's the cat that's at fault or something else in the system. So very useful for that. Useful, as we know, as well for under bonnet kind of diagnosis. We've done that before. Incredibly useful for finding out if you've got kind of air leaks in your radiators throughout the house, that kind of stuff as well. I mean, the options are endless to find out what you want to know, as long as you want to know whether it's too hot or too cold. I mean, bearing in mind this is a thermal imaging camera, it doesn't do anything else, but it is very nice. And as I said, there's my hand and there's the unit there. Far more professional than the Top Don, because it's a dedicated scanning device basically. And there it is, the Kaiweets KTI-W01. Very impressed. I mean, I don't have a huge amount of use for this, but I'm glad they sent it out because I'm always interested to see what tech's doing these days. And I hope you guys have found this somewhat interesting. On the reverse side there, of course, there is some more info. Just basically tells you it's -20 to 550 Celsius or -4 to 1000 Fahrenheit. I'm hoping this has been of some interest to you guys. If you have enjoyed the video, you like this kind of content, product reviews, etc, etc, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give the video a like, a share, a thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with a bike or a car or some more products or just a ride along video, that kind of good stuff. But from Budget Cars and Bikes, that is it. That is the Kaiweets KTI-W01, should I say, and our very short review of it. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Link is in the description. Take care.